fun of Moon Knight is getting introduced to a new superhero in a new world.
It's a real, legitimate character study.
I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Moon Knight is a spectacular character. He's got an incredibly unique visual look.
Our job was to kind of put a lens on the things that had the most dramatic juice and ultimately take the mental health aspect incredibly seriously.
I am Stephen.
The way we're tackling the story, we learn about Stephen and then learn about Mark.
What's wrong with you, Mark?
Why did you call me Mark?
And they're the same person.
The tone is like Fight Club meets Indiana Jones. It's a bit dark at times. To tie it into something so vast and supernatural, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Every aspect of this show has a duality, and we've shifted the paradigm.
For me, what's really exciting is that it's totally unpredictable.
Welcome back, everyone. This is my new Marvel Moon Knight trailer video. They released a whole bunch of new footage, so we'll break it all down. There's a bunch of Easter eggs here, and we're going to be getting episodes in a couple weeks. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get them all. I will be doing videos for all the episodes like I do for all the other Marvel Disney Plus series. We'll do a giveaway for Disney Plus memberships. All you have to do to enter is just be a subscriber and leave your favorite moment from the trailer on the video. This trailer gives us a lot more footage of his different transformations between different personalities and different versions of Moon Knight. At the beginning of this, you see him transform to the regular version of Mark Spector Moon Knight. I think the idea is that when he's in regular Moon Knight form, like this version of the costume, he is his regular, original Mark Spector personality. They said they're kind of starting the series Rashomon style, where you actually start a little bit later in the story after he's become Moon Knight or after he's developed the different personalities. So when we start, he thinks he's Stephen Grant, and then he starts hearing all these things about Mark Spector, like he gets the phone call, "Why did you call me Mark?" Then it sounds like we flash back to the origin story and they show us how he became Moon Knight, how he ran into Khonshu, got his powers, and developed the different personalities. Mark Spector is former regular military who became a mercenary, wound up working for this warlord trying to pilfer this Egyptian dig site. We see some footage that looks kind of like that in the trailer, like you see Ethan Hawke's Arthur Harrow character. Seems like he's using the special scarab artifact to find some special archaeology dig site. In the comics, he wound up getting into a fight with that warlord, is left for dead, then basically crawls his way to the statue of Khonshu at the nearby dig site. We see a version of that in the trailer, like you're getting bits of what looks like his origin story throughout this trailer. Because Khonshu is trapped in this other dimension with his pantheon of gods, he can't physically enter the main MCU universe, but he can work through avatars. He sees an opportunity in Mark Spector. He tells him, "I'll save your life if you become my avatar on Earth and you execute my will." The problem is that Khonshu is this very capricious god. Like you see all this footage where he's trying to run from him, but I think this is when he thinks that he's still Stephen Grant, not Mark Spector. There's different footage of him inside this special temple where you see all these other Egyptian gods in the background. At least that's what it looks like. Like he's in this place with these other Egyptian gods, and in the background you actually see Stephen Grant just walking by. Like he's Mark Spector looking at Stephen Grant in the background. They could play this as if he's been transported to this other dimension by Khonshu to speak to him there and the other gods. Or they could be playing this as if Khonshu is just speaking to him in his mind and his physical body has not left the main MCU dimension. Then we see him in the streets of Egypt being an actual mercenary, like he's chasing someone down. This is when he's still Mark Spector. You can kind of tell just based on the costumes that they're wearing which personality he's in. I love the way they pull this scene off too. Like he falls out the window as either Stephen Grant or Mark Spector and lands as the Mr. Knight persona. Now in the comics, Mr. Knight is the one who wears this white-looking suit. It's just another version of his Moon Knight costume. On the series, they might just be playing it as if this is another version of the Mark Spector Moon Knight persona. Like I don't know how many of the personalities we're going to see on the actual TV show. In the more recent comics, it gets up to 4 different personalities. But like they might not be doing the Jake Lockley cab driver persona. They might just be doing Stephen Grant and Mark Spector. The Mr. Knight persona with the white suit and the tie is a little bit more recent in the comics, and to make a Batman reference, that's sort of like the world's greatest detective version of Moon Knight. He uses the Mr. Knight persona to actually liaise with the police on detective cases. We get a little more footage of Ethan Hawke's Arthur Harrow character, and it seems like he's after the same type of god-tier power that Moon Knight gains as a result of his connection with Khonshu. Only some of the artifacts that Arthur Harrow has seem like they're connected to the Egyptian god Sobek, the alligator god, like he has an alligator on his little cane there. He has an alligator tattoo. A lot of you also asking me if I think that he's going to become a version of Shadow Knight from the comics. If you don't know who Shadow Knight is, that's sort of like an evil, darker version of Moon Knight. Like, Moon Knight is already meant to be kind of a dark character. But in the comics, Mark Spector had a brother really early in his run that he wound up fighting, kind of turned evil, that Mark Spector wound up having to take down. Later we find out that his brother was actually part of the cult of Khonshu, and for a brief period got the same powers as Moon Knight from Khonshu, but they called him Shadow Knight. So it was like a more evil version of Moon Knight. That might be what's happening with the Arthur Harrow character. Like, it seems like he's trying to hijack some of this god-tier power.
It must be very difficult.
The voice in your head. There's chaos in you. Embrace the chaos.
In the comics, Arthur Harrow was this former Nazi scientist whose field was the study of pain, and within the context of the series, it looks like they're carrying over his disability. He suffered from a condition which left him paralyzed on his left side in a state of constant pain, so he studies pain as a way to try and fix that. But it seems like Ethan Hawke is playing a combination of a couple different characters in the MCU. And that just informs his Indiana Jones Nazi-like search for these special god-tier artifacts. They did make a lot of Indiana Jones references when they talked about creating the series, like the special treasure hunt aspect of the series where they're searching for artifacts to give them power of the gods. And it also takes place in Egypt. But when you see Arthur Harrow, he's inside this same temple place where you see, it seems like the gods standing behind him here, where we saw them sitting down earlier with Mark Spector. So somehow he's gained access to this same special place, this plane of existence, or this other dimension where the gods are. The brand new female character that we see in all these scenes is also the woman whose voice we heard on the phone call, calling him Mark Spector. Like, wait a minute, why are you calling me Mark? She sounds like she knew him before he became Moon Knight and developed the split personalities. Her character's name is Layla inside the MCU, but she might be a combination of a couple different characters, including his love interest Marlene from the comics. We also get a much better look at Khonshu himself. This is what his head basically looks like. If you didn't realize, because we haven't heard him actually speak during any of these trailers, he's being voiced by F. Murray Abraham, which I think is going to be amazing.
CW, I need you to draft an apology. Immediately.
Of course. Now, are we apologizing to the Nazis or on their behalf?
You all probably remember him from somewhere just because he's done so many amazing movies and TV shows. More recently, he's actually been doing that Mythic Quest comedic series. The whole idea with the power that Khonshu grants Moon Knight is that because Khonshu is pretending to be the Egyptian god of the moon, Moon Knight's powers are tied to the phases of the moon. The more full the moon is, the more powerful he becomes, like he's at his most powerful during a full moon. But Khonshu's actually lying about being the Egyptian moon god. He's actually much older than that. The pantheon that he comes from is actually part of the elder gods that were around millions of years ago inside the main MCU dimension, but were eventually banished. I know there are lots of theories about what's going on with Scarlet Witch during Doctor Strange 2 because of the Darkhold, where chaos magic comes from in the MCU, if they're going to be including any Chthon Easter eggs. But the cool connection to the Darkhold is that Chthon is also part of that same pantheon of elder gods that Khonshu came from. They're changing some stuff inside the MCU, so it won't be exactly like it is in the comics, though. This scene of Khonshu talking to Mark Spector, where it seems like reality is spinning around them in the background, seems like he's just explaining the gods and all of existence to him, like just revealing the truth of all existence. It's sort of like him getting a version of that Doctor Strange magical tour of the multiverse in the first Doctor Strange movie, where the Ancient One just sends him through all these different dimensions, like, open your mind, reality is much crazier than you thought it was. It'll get a little bit crazier during Doctor Strange 2, thanks to the addition of all those X-Men crossover characters and the Fantastic Four showing up. Because the Moon Knight episodes will overlap with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I'm also wondering if they're going to reference the other dimensions where these gods live during Doctor Strange. We're also getting Thor Love and Thunder later this summer, where Gore the God Butcher, Christian Bale's character, is going to be going around killing all the gods of the MCU. Khonshu, being another god, would be on his hit list. So maybe Khonshu and his pantheon will also be referenced during Thor Love and Thunder. He is going to cross over with other big Marvel Phase 4 movies, and he will eventually cross over into Avengers 5 with the other Avengers characters. I believe there's supposed to be a special Avengers cameo scene either towards the end of the series or at some point during the series involving either Mark Ruffalo's Hulk character or it could be someone else. I think they're going to have something similar to the Shang-Chi post-credit scene where you have the Hulk and a couple other characters there just referencing a lot of Avengers stuff, and they'll just have their own version of that during the Moon Knight series. I believe the rumor right now is that it's going to be Mark Ruffalo, and he'll be showing up in some capacity as a version of Bruce Banner, but not the Hulk. Which is why I made the Shang-Chi reference, because during that scene, he was just in Banner form, like he wasn't hulked out. There's actually a really cool connection between the Hulk character and Moon Knight in the comics that goes way back to his origin story. In the comics, Moon Knight actually debuted as a villain in the Werewolf by Night comic book. That's why Werewolf by Night is supposed to show up during the Moon Knight series. But he wasn't meant to be a recurring character. He was just like a one-off villain that showed up and tried to take down Werewolf by Night, but then it wound up helping him out. He was so popular that Marvel Editorial told them to bring the character back, so Marvel brought him back in the backup stories for the Hulk magazine that was running at the time. It's not the same thing as the Hulk comic books. The Hulk magazine was intended for more adult readers, darker stories. So the Hulk and Moon Knight go way, way back. But it is going to be totally crazy. Episodes are going to be starting at the end of the month. Of course, I'll be doing videos for all of them, so make sure you have alerts enabled for my channel so you don't miss anything. I'll name a giveaway winner in my next big Marvel video. I have another big Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer video that I'm working on. I'll talk a little bit about Darth Vader and what's going on with Grogu in Ahsoka during the events of that series. While you wait for everything, click here for that brand new Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer video and Easter eggs, and click here for my brand new Doctor Strange 2 trailer video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.